Hey guys, Furum here, and I will be your co-host in the Asphalt 9 finals of the ESL Mobile Open Fall 2021 season. If you would like to take part, the qualification rounds are still going right now in Asphalt 9, so be sure to check that out, and you might have a chance of getting into one of these recap videos, which I will be doing every week until the finals, which I can now confirm will be held on September 12th and co-hosted by me and Inverum. Now, without further ado, let's take a look at the laps of the winners of the second week of qualifiers. Starting off, we have the winner on Android, Diesel Dragon. Now, in the second qualifier, everybody used the Bugatti Devo on Cliffhanger, a variant of Himalayas. By the way, before I get too far into the video, in case any of you guys have been following the ESL Mobile Open recaps that they've been posting on their YouTube channel, you may have noticed that this video was not in there. Well, the reason for that is because GameLoft didn't actually get these replays of the races to us until right before the live recap show was supposed to take place, and so I had no time to make a video at that point. But I still wanted to make this video for you guys on my channel the same way that I normally made them, just so you would get the whole story and you wouldn't be out a week. And we should be back to our regular schedule for these next week. Now let's talk a little bit about this track and this car. I would consider the Devo to be a high mid-tier S-Class car, as it's not one of the fastest cars in the game, but overall it is fairly agile, especially after its drifting was largely fixed to not be as wide as it was before. It's a good fit for Cliffhanger, which has a combination of some of the straighter sections and some of the twistier and jumpier sections. Diesel Dragon gets a real time of 104.596. Now we're moving on to our winner of the second qualifier on iOS, the J, who is rejoining us from last week. He takes the same route at the beginning as Diesel Dragon did, going over to the right and going up this ramp to give himself some speed before this turn over to the left. You will see that the two runs are almost identical to each other this week. They are normally, but even more so this time, with only a few minor differences. They both go off to the right of this ramp here, doing a low barrel to give themselves some good airspeed, as well as a shorter route. Now, the one big difference between the runs is that the J does a 360 off this ramp, whereas Diesel Dragon did not. They both fell off to the right, and they both do this little 360 here to give themselves some more nitro before the turn. The J shockwaves off this ramp at just the right height so as to gain the best possible airspeed, then does a little drift and again shockwaves off the next ramp. He is now coming up toward the very end of the race, where the biggest challenge now is to maintain the top speed over these large sections of rough terrain. He gets a very near miss on this traffic car and picks up the yellow nitro to finish with a real time of 104.479. Our two competitors' laps only ended up being about a tenth of a second apart, with the J taking the slight edge. Let's now take a look at both of the runs side by side, slowed down to half speed to really take note of any minute differences there might have been between them. They both use their nitro very close to the beginning, with Diesel Dragon doing it slightly earlier, but they get to the ramp at pretty much the same time. They both get two barrels, and then upon landing they drift to pick up the nitro and then shockwave into a wall ride to maintain their speed around this first turn. The two players are practically neck and neck as they head into this next section, and the reason why both of them go to the left at the beginning but then go off the edge of the second ramp over to the right to barrel down to the lower section is because at this point not only is the route down there shorter, but you gain airspeed when going down, and you also get some airspeed when going back up with the next ramp. Here again, both players wall ride so as to conserve speed and gain some nitro so that they'll both be able to have shockwave before the next ramp. Now here is one of the big differences. Diesel Dragon goes straight off this ramp, maintaining a little bit better airspeed but not giving him as much nitro upon landing. The J, on the other hand, did a 360 in the air, reducing his speed slightly but giving him more nitro upon landing. Now, neither of those really seem to affect things much because they are still practically neck and neck. They go off the barrel at almost exactly the same height, and I would definitely consider these races to be some of the closest that we've seen in the ESL Mobile Open qualifier top ones. Now here they do something a little bit different. Diesel Dragon just perfect nitros around and then goes straight up the barrel with the double tap nitro, whereas the J does the drift and then shockwaves up it, but again, it really doesn't seem to make a whole lot of difference, as they are practically still tied coming into the final turn. It is clear to me that these racers have put in a lot of hard work to get to where they are in won this event. And so they both round the final bend, pick up the yellow nitro, and cross the finish line. This wraps up our second weekly recap of the ESL Mobile Open Asphalt 9 qualifiers. Be sure to stay tuned for episodes 3 and 4 coming soon, and be sure to tune in on September 12th for the finals, co-hosted by me and Inverum. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video if you have enjoyed, and consider subscribing for more Asphalt and other games content, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye!